Hello, my friends. To my surprise, I have in this little video channel, which I started some years ago, already almost 750 followers. So I thought it's time to do a little short introduction of myself. Who is that guy calling himself Nordic Biker? Well, the Nordic Biker actually comes from a email address many years ago when I had my very first Hotmail email. I wanted to have some nickname which is easy to remember and easy to spell if you tell somebody your email address. So I've always been a fan of cycling actually, before I had the motorcycle license. So I decided I want something related to my favorite hobby, cycling, and the Scandinavia, which I always liked, and ended up with Nordic Biker. And I've been using that name in quite a lot of forums and as a nickname in general. So I'm Nordic Biker. I'm almost half a century old. Another thing I can hardly believe. Time goes fast. I've not always been motorcycling, as I told you. I started actually on two wheels as a cyclist many years ago. As you might know also, or have realized by my accent, I'm not a native English speaker. I'm originally from Germany. Grew up in a little place called Neustadt bei Coburg in northern Franconia. Moved quite a little bit around and ended finally up 2001 in Sweden actually for work. So since then I'm living in Stockholm, a bit of a suburb here outside, and exploring the north. I've always liked Scandinavia, as I said before. So now I'm here for almost 18, 19 years, something like that, and still like it. And later came the motorcycle part. So how did that happen actually? My, I think, greatest bicycle trip ever I did was a 7-week trip around Iceland in 91 and 92. And there I met a guy on a BMW, I think it was an R80 GS, and was fascinated by the way to travel by motorcycle. But the guy said, wait, this is not as good as you think, because I'm getting as cold and as wet as you are on the bicycle. I'm not even working myself warm, I'm freezing more. And when I come to a river, I cannot simply carry the bike through as you can. So actually, riding a motorcycle around Iceland is the second worst way to travel here. And I said, what would then be the worst way? And he said, that would be like walking on your hands. Well, I'm not so sure if he was right, but still, many years ago, I made my dream come reality, and just in time before my 40th birthday, I got a motorcycle driving license and have been covering since then many miles. So once I had the motorcycle license, I didn't do any more of these bicycle holidays, road trips by bicycle as I did before. I just basically started traveling the same way I did before, just with motorcycle. And the longest trip so far I've done was in 2013, a 3-month trip, 26,000 kilometers all over Canada, starting in Nova Scotia, Halifax, and making it all the way up to Yukon and the border to Alaska, to finally go down through the Rocky Mountains also back to Vancouver. The greatest trip I've ever done, and I can really recommend Canada if you want to do such a long road trip. Of course, I'm not always traveling in Northern Europe. I've, for example, last year been in Romania, a country I really enjoyed. Fantastic nature and scenery and landscape, even if you sometimes feel like you're 100 years back. However, I'm not the guy who's doing long distances every day, every day, every day, every day. It's more like maybe an average 250, 350, 400 kilometers, something like that, because I'm much more an explorer kind of a rider. The motorcycle is a vehicle for me to explore, and it's not so much about the motorcycle riding itself. Sometimes I'm renting a kayak, for example, sometimes I'm renting a bicycle, but of course I like hiking very much because it's so nice and silent and you can meditate a little bit and really come close to nature. And then, of course, if there is a bit of a thrill and an adventure included, like here in Norway above Lysefjorden, with 1,000 meters of air just in front of me, things are even better. And what I love, of course, is sleeping in a tent and camping, so I'm trying to be out at least once a month for a night, better 2 times, summer and winter. But it doesn't always need to be action. It's sometimes even nicer just to sit there, relax, and let the scenery give you an impression and enjoy that and relax. That's life quality. So I'm doing these videos in English, of course, because I would everybody like to understand it, both my German friends, my Swedish friends, people in other countries, we have the common language of English. But as I said, I am not an English native speaker, so please forgive me if my vocabulary is not perfect or my pronouns, the way I speak, you know, is not perfect. I'm doing this anyway just for the fun of it. I'm not getting sponsored by anybody, not making money and with that. It's really just for the fun of it, and I hope I can give you some information that you might like and find useful for your own trips and your own motorcycle experiences. Technical quality of the videos, well, I try to be as good as I can, but it's not really so much about designing, filming perfect videos. I want to give you, as I said, I want to give you information. So if there's a bit of wind noise sometimes, or the focus doesn't really sit perfectly, I find making videos quite demanding actually. I've been photographing for many years, and I think I'm quite okay with that. But video and video editing is a little bit still a mystery to me. And anyway, if you wonder this thing is the wrong way around here. That forest there in the back behind me is not really a birch forest, of course. No. If you've seen my previous videos about the soft luggage, you know that we are sitting in the middle of my living room, actually, in my apartment here in Stockholm, and that this little birch forest there in the back is actually just on the paper on the wall. So my friends, okay, hope you enjoyed it and you enjoy my videos. If you give me a thumb down, okay, fine, but at least let me know what I did wrong and what I could do better. Okay, good. See you. Bye.